Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Randy Nance. In this episode, I'll be discussing lives lost in the opioid epidemic our country is facing. I want to talk to you about what happens when people accidentally or intentionally overdose on opioids. Most people die because they simply stop breathing. Let's talk about why this occurs. There are regions in the brain that control the depth and rate of breathing. These regions are loaded with opioid receptors. When activated, the receptors alter the behavior of cells that can slow or even stop respiratory effort. There are also areas in the brain that control voluntary breathing. When you feel the need to take a deep breath, this is the area of the brain that allows you to do so. Opioids also affect this function and can cause significant respiratory depression as a result. Under normal circumstances, we take in oxygen, we exhale carbon dioxide. When faced with respiratory depression, oxygen falls and carbon dioxide levels rise. The elevated carbon dioxide triggers a mechanism that tells us to breathe at an increased pace in order to help oxygenate the body. Opioids also dampen this mechanism, thereby suppressing breathing even further. Opioids can also cause pulmonary edema, which simply means fluid in the lungs. We're not exactly sure how this happens, but we are sure that it can significantly enhance breathing difficulties. Opioids can also affect other parts of the body. These effects may or may not be lethal. Human beings have a gag reflex, which serves to some degree as a safety mechanism. Opioids can also suppress this reflex, which could lead to aspiration of vomit. This could also worsen respiratory effort. Opioids can also cause a decrease in blood pressure, particularly when combined with other drugs. These drugs can also affect the rate and rhythm of the heart. It's pretty easy to see how quickly these drugs can overwhelm a body and cause tragic consequences. The inability to breathe is not a good feeling. You are forced to struggle for every mouthful of air. As the struggle continues, you become more and more anxious and frightened. You try to tell yourself to remain calm, but your brain and body recognize the gravity of the situation as they desperately seek oxygen. At first, your respiratory rate increases as you fight for any and every wisp of air you encounter. Unless someone is there to summon help or lend assistance of some sort, you will not make it. Your rate of breaths per minute slows, and finally a last breath is taken. Another life is wasted. In 2015, the number of deaths from lab-made opioids doubled in the United States. Over 64,000 Americans died in 2016 from opioid overdose. Another 70,000 died in 2018. These statistics are staggering. This does not have to happen to you or a loved one. There is help available, but it is up to each individual to seek that help. You must have the courage to admit that you have a problem. You must have the fortitude and good sense to seek help. Don't hesitate to reach out to a friend, a family member, a doctor, a minister, or anyone who has your best interest in mind. Stay away from opioid abusers. They are not your friends. This disease is treatable, and don't let anybody tell you any differently. We must work together in order to overcome the scourge of this epidemic. If you have any other topics you'd like to discuss, please let me know. We'll be talking more about the opioid epidemic as time goes on. Remember, caring is what we do. Until next time, I'm Dr. Randy Nance, and here's to your health.